know what legacy means.
It's what you pass down to your children and your children's children. It's what remains of you when you're gone.
Welcome back to the Legacy of Westeros, your one-stop shop for all things Westeros. Today's video is brought to you by Zap. Really appreciate what they do for the channel. Without them, we wouldn't be here doing this content for the YouTube channel, on podcast platforms and whatnot. You might be able to tell them in my car today, so that's not ideal, but let's dive in to episode 5 of House of the Dragon season 2. This is just going to be an all-encompassing review this time. Life throws you curveballs, you make the most of it. We were guaranteed to get a cool down episode after the events of the Red Dragon and the Gold, which spelled the end of Meleys, Rhaenys, Sunfire obviously left for dead. And, I don't know if I should say poor Aegon, but Aegon's not exactly himself anymore. He's probably, I'm sure somewhere Alicent is saying, this is not what I meant by be more like your father. Too soon? Anyways, if you're just tuning in, like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications to all to keep up to date with all of our content. Check us out on podcatchers. We're available on all of them except Apple. We're having trouble with that, trying to figure it out. You will be able to catch our full-blown review of this episode tomorrow on podcatchers, so look for that. Look, it was a cool down episode, and yet done in ways that only the Game of Thrones universe and House of the Dragon do. I saw someone make a comment on social media, and this is why this franchise is in the state it's in. It's like, I'm sorry, Star Wars is sitting out there somewhere going, hold my beer. This franchise is in fine form. Fine form. I have some hesitancy whether we'll ever see those new books from George R. R. Martin or not. But House of the Dragon right now is the most successful show on television. They're not 2, they're not 3, they're not 5. They're number 1 and continuing to get stronger the deeper into the run it goes. You have an Aegon the Conqueror show in development. You have a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, which is now shooting. And anime shows that have been pitched and, eventual Game of Thrones sequels. This show's in fine standing. We kick off the episode in King's Landing, and we see people scraping for food, and not very good food at that. It kind of makes your stomach turn. And then there they are, I'm assuming it was Cole's idea to parade Meleys' head around King's Landing. Not good. Not a good look. And I don't think it had the desired effect they wanted it to. That was, we didn't get to spend too much on-screen time with Meleys. We get some stories about her in this episode, a couple of them actually. And then I was listening to the Ringers review of it, and they talked about how Aegon and Daemon, when they were just young lads, got to ride on Meleys. So, that's some history for you right there. I don't think this had the desired effect. I think they were hoping to rally the people with that. And I think all it did was cast further doubt into what was going on with the situation. Later on in the episode, we see Rhaenyra sort of, play that to her advantage, or begin to play that to her advantage. We we get the Green Council, where Alicent makes her power play, if you will. Wants to be the Queen Dowager again, and nobody sided with her. She kind of burned bridges with Larys, with Kristen Cole. Aemon's sitting there not saying a word because he already knows how this is going to go down. And he's already 2 steps ahead of his mom, which is probably a dangerous thing for the realm. And Aegon's named, in his brother's place. And speaking of his brother, Aemond is named in his brother's place. Aegon, on the other hand, is you know, not doing too well, looking a whole lot like Viserys, and I'm really curious to see what his response to all this is going to be. If this is going to create character development, or if we're just going to get more of the same. We know a little bit of what happens in the books, but not everything. Zach and I and the other people at the channel have done a good job of staying fairly spoiler free. And also, it's really important to not get attached to the books because they change things. They've already changed significant things. So yeah, you got it. The green team green sort of squabbling amongst one another, and Allison's pissed that she gets overlooked, and it's kind of like, what did you expect to happen? Like, I do think there's a moment there where, this is my own headcanon, where she's thinking, could I go join Rhaenyra? Whether that's a possibility or not remains to be seen. I've seen on social media, one scene has grabbed a lot of people's attention, that being Daemon and his mom. At first, I thought it was Emma, Viserys' wife. Looks like her, but it's not. Um, and he's dreaming about, you know, being with his mom in a very sexual, incestual, grotesque manner. Um, the thing that I don't get though is, people are like, "Oh, okay, brother and sister, cool," and "Oh, okay, nephew and niece," and sorry, nephew and niece, uncle and niece, or aunt and nephew. Those are all cool as well, but the mom and the son, no. Not that I'm, you know, sitting here trying to stick up for any of it, but Damon is in a really dark place. He sees his deceased wife. I think one of my favorite parts of the episode is where his dragon is bending down, and it looks like he's going to light the men on fire. And then it cuts to Damon on the rock, and he's like, I really didn't think they'd be so eager to throw their lives away. Obviously, he didn't burn them, um, but it was one of the most comedic moments of the season. Um, I'm really curious to see where Damon goes with all this. Obviously, Alice Rivers has played her hand. He now knows, just by her mentioning his mom, that she has a hand in what's going on. I think there's things to discuss in terms of, where does Damon fall? Is he going to be just his own person? Is he going to be, uh, rejoining Rhaenyra? Where will Damon fall? Let us know in the comment section down below what you think there. And then, honestly, my favorite character of this episode was Jace. The more time we spend with Jace, the more that I like his character. He's taking initiative. Reminds me a little bit of a younger Anakin Skywalker in look. I just love everything we get with Jason this episode, and he's becoming a more integral and pivotal part of the show, which is important because he should be, and his role should expand and grow, as does his relevance. Um, so, apologies. This is what happens when you do this outside. You have people drive by for whatever reason. Anyways, yeah, I'm excited to see what happens there. And then there's Corlys, right? Like, Corlys is in a position where it's hard to tell what's going on with him, devastated. He's lost almost everyone. And I know Zach wanted Corlys to fall a certain way, and I'm not sure it's going to go his way. I think Corlys can be a great hand to the queen. I just don't know if it's going to happen at this point in time. And I think there's a role to play with his kid or his kids, and we'll see what happens today. The question is, though, what did you think of House of the Dragon episode 5? I know this is a short, quick little review. For our expanded thoughts, please tune into the small council. It's available on the Legacy of Westeros podcatcher feed. We're available everywhere except for Apple right now. So check us out there. Big thanks to Zap again for allowing us to come out and do what we do. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications to all to keep up to date with all of our future content. And until next time, we'll see you when the Empire calls.
Do you know what legacy means?
It's what you pass down to your children and your children's children. It's what remains of you when you're gone.